Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome once again to IQRA Kids TV Season 2. Now we hope you guys have been enjoying Season 2 because we've decided to switch things up a little bit and change it up. Yes, of course, you've got the regulars like Muslim Heroes, Random Art Studio, and of course you've still got Let's See the World, but we've also added some new features such as Muslim Maestros, ABCs of Islam, and Kun Faya Kun with our two amazing hosts. Right, there's one other thing we want you guys to do in our new Season 2. We have, because we're getting really technical these days, we've got a QR code. If you don't know what a QR code is, I'm going to put it somewhere on the screen right now, okay? You can see it now, okay? That QR code, all you need to do to go to our Instagram page is whip your phone out, take a photo of it, and hit that thing. It will take you directly to our Instagram page. So try it out now, okay? Hit that QR code with your phone and you should go directly to our Instagram page. Now on our Instagram page, that is where we want all of your feedback. We want you to tell us if you want to be on any of our shows like Random Art Show, or if you would like to send some of your artwork in. That's where you should go to do it, inshallah. Right, before we get into today's show, because I've been working so hard at it, I wanted to keep your brains active, and what we've decided to do in parts of Season 2 is to give you a bit of a quiz. Okay, now the intro that we're doing now, I'm going to be coming back halfway through the show and at the end, but I'm going to do two questions for you, okay? I want you to think about it. You don't have to send in the answer. All I'm going to do is give you the answer halfway through the show, set another question, and at the very end, we'll see if you can get the answer to that question as well. Right, let me see. How many pillars are there in Islam? Remember, you don't have to send it in or write anything in, okay? All you need to do is think about it, and at the halfway through, we'll see if you've got it right. Is that cool? Right, so how many pillars in Islam are there? Right, should we get on with the show? Check it out.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum, my friends, and welcome once again to another tutorial here on the Random Art Studio with me. Hope you guys have been staying safe and well, inshallah. Right, we are back with our spinner. That's right, our random spinner has decided to come back. It's right next to me here, and we're going to put it on the screen in a minute. Before we do that, once again, guys, I want all of you right now to do me a favor, okay? Do me a favor. Whip out your phone. Get your phone out. Mums and Dad, get your phone out. We need you to go to Instagram. Now, some people say Instagram is for old people. It's not, okay? That's Facebook, okay? Instagram is for very trendy, very happening, creative people. That's why we are on there, and we want you to open your phone right now and go to the search bit, right? The little magnifying glass. When it comes up, type in IQRA Kids TV, one word, IQRA Kids TV. You should see it coming up there in a minute. Click on it, follow it, and if you've got any artwork that you've been doing, whether it's related to what we've done here on the show or not, I don't care no more, right? I want to see some wicked artwork. We've had so many people sending amazing artwork so far that we thought, man, we need to see more. Not only do we want to see it, we want everybody else to see it as well. And yes, we're going to feature it on the show and also on our Instagram page. If you don't believe me, go and have a browse around. You'll see other bits of artwork from other artists that we have featured on the show. So you can inbox me, name, age, whereabouts you are in the world, and some of your artwork. 3 or 4 pieces would be lovely. Don't be stingy. Share your beautiful artwork with us. We'd love to see it. Right. Let's get back to that spinner, shall we? Are you ready, guys? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Welcome back, our random spinner. Now, let me just remind you guys out there, in case you don't know, the random spinner is, well, it's random, basically. It's got a bunch of random things on there that we've put on, well, when I say we, I meant me, right? Put some random things in there, and we're going to spin the old wheel in a minute. Okay, as I'm spinning it, you can see it spinning on the screen. How lovely is that? Look, wooka, 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 chugga, chugga, right there, like scratching, right? I'm going to spin it, and whatever it stops on, we're going to try and draw it, okay? When I say draw it, we're going to try and go online, find a picture that represents that thing, and then draw it on our piece of paper here. We're going to still use the technique that we started off with when we talked about the creatures and animals in the Quran, which is to do basic shapes and to do using the grid system, okay? So we're gonna be using those two techniques. So are you guys ready for me to hit the spinner? Now, I forgot to mention, right? If you want to join me, if you're in London, in the UK, and you want to join me here in the studio, you can be sitting right next to me. We've had a few guests so far, so we need a few more, right? To sit with me, and we will hit the spinner together and draw whatever comes up. Once again, if you want to do that, why not go to our Instagram page? It's a lot quicker than an email, right? And inbox me, says, Khaleel, I want to come to the studio and I want to do some drawing on the Random Art Studio. Right? That'll be the best way to sort it out, okay? Right, that's been done and said. Let's get down to business, shall we? Let's crack my knuckles. I can't crack my knuckles. Can you crack your knuckles? Oh, okay. Right, should we go? Ready? Here we go. What's it gonna stop on? Only Allah knows. O. L-O-V-E, love. Now, the random spinner, normally it's got animals, castles, dinosaurs, dolphins, all sorts of stuff. But every now and then, I put in a few terms which are a little bit more abstract. Abstract means it's not a literal thing, like a chair or a car or a plane or I don't know, a fidget spinner or something, right? It's going to be an abstract word, meaning that we can interpret the word love any way we like. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go away, well, not go away, I'm going to try something on my phone, put in the word love and see what comes up, and whatever comes up, that's what we're going to draw, okay? See you in a minute. Right, my friends, we are back, and I'm going to put on the screen what I found under the word love. There it is. Oh, it's just the word love. And as you can see, because I've got it on my phone here as well, I've put some black lines on it. Why? Well, that is what we're going to do the grid system on, or with, or for, or using the grid system, okay? Those black lines will represent the grid system that we're going to use today. Now, if you don't know what the grid system is, you need to listen very carefully. Right, the first thing we're going to look at is the overall shape of where those L-O-V letters fall. I would say, looking at my phone, looking at the picture, you can look on the screen right here, it's kind of a square box. So let's begin to draw a kind of a square box right now on our bit of paper. A square box means that all the sides are pretty much equal. Yes. Oh, nice and clear on the screen there as well. Maybe a bit school width down here. You know what I mean, like, not bad. And then we're gonna divide it exactly as we've got it on our picture. But of course, it is much bigger, because we want to proportion it up so that we can have it nice and big on my A3 sheet of paper here on my desk. Right, first thing, we're going to see where the letters fall within the grid system. This one is so easy, and it's probably a very good introduction to the whole thing, because the L is in the top left-hand corner, the O is in the top right-hand corner, the V is in the bottom left-hand corner, and the E is in the bottom right-hand corner. How easy is that? Maybe not as easy as you think. Okay. Another thing I forgot to mention is that when you do your grid system, don't use a ruler, okay? Try and do it freehand. You can see I've made a few mistakes and I'm trying to correct it now. But that's okay, that's okay. Right, first thing we're gonna think about is what I said at the beginning, basic shapes. the basic shape of that L. We're going to try and put that basic shape in and figure out where does it fit inside that top left-hand corner. So we can see it doesn't touch the top, so it's going to be about there somewhere. It does touch the bottom, but it's not too far from this corner. It's about here. And then the main stem goes down, obviously, duh. Let's just put that in for now. It's about halfway, just over halfway inside that box. Okay? Right? And then the foot of that L doesn't quite touch that middle line. It's kind of like this. And then the stem goes out, the serif goes out. That, when you see letters with that kind of goes like this, that is a serif, okay? That serif is going up as well, like that. And this serif is a long serif because it's a leg of the L, kind of goes up quite high actually, and it touches that O. Leave that for now. Okay, we'll come back to it in a second. Let's look at the O. Now the bottom part of the O does go over that black line, so we can bring it up. It doesn't touch the top line, so we're going to avoid that. Bring it back around. It's going to continue here. Here, it's not going to touch that black line because that E is there. And then we're going to bring that other curve of the O down here. Now, it's good for a number of reasons that we've got a bit of typography, meaning a bit of writing. One, it's basic letters. Who doesn't know letters after all? Okay. Two, it falls very nicely within the grid system that we've created. Very nicely indeed. Now, some of the ones we've done before using the grid system, I know it's been a bit of a challenge. I know that because I was making mistakes left, right, and center, but I managed to keep on going and managed to do it, inshallah. So this is a fairly easy one. Right, let's look at the V. Now, the top serif of that V goes down, and it kind of goes down. It doesn't touch the bottom. So I'd say stop about here somewhere. It doesn't touch that bottom line. And it kind of goes up about here somewhere. And that serif part goes over onto the black line and joins with the E. But let's just do the serif for the V, for the letters for the V. Now the body, the main body of that V is quite thick. And the serif goes out and up like that. And then that second leg of the V kind of goes up, around like that. Maybe I made it a bit too thick. No, it's okay actually. Can you see that? Remember what we're doing, we're just roughly putting the letters in for now. We're not trying to be too accurate. I'm going to continue with this E. Again, just like the V, it doesn't touch the bottom line and it doesn't touch that middle line. So we're going to put that leg, the foot of it, across here. It just goes over halfway and goes up again. The serif goes around and it stops about there. Then we're going to put the main thickness. All these letters have main thicknesses. So the main thickness of that E goes up. Just about touches that line, goes down again. And it's exactly underneath that one that we did that goes up. Exactly underneath this one here. So if we put a line showing where it goes, that won't be a bad thing. And of course the middle line is about here somewhere. Goes up. Serifs up like this. And then you got the little shelf that is square and then goes down again. Okay, now see, straight away I've made a mistake because this is supposed to be a bit higher and this should be a little bit lower. Now look at that E there. It's almost the same height as that and it should be up here somewhere. So we're going to extend that up here and this bottom one should be about here somewhere because if that stops there, it should be about here somewhere. And maybe that make that stem a bit thicker.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Right, we're at the midway point, guys. I want to know, are you enjoying the show? If you are, hit that QR code, go directly to our Instagram page and drop us a comment or any artwork that you'd like to have featured on the show. Have you been thinking about the quiz question I set for you at the beginning of the show? I hope so. The question was as follows. How many pillars in Islam are there? How many pillars? 5 pillars. Well done. You probably knew that anyway. Did you know that? Of course you knew that. Well done. Okie dokie. Right, we'll set you another question, and at the end, we're going to see if you can get it right. How many salah, namaz, is there in Islam? The main one. How many salah are there in? Maybe you shout out the answer now. Don't worry, you don't have to shout it out. You don't have to send it to us on our Instagram page or anything like that. Wait till the end and we'll figure out if we have indeed got the right answer. Right, should we get on with the show? Let's continue.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Okay, so don't get too caught up on the details for now, guys. Let's just put those letters in, and that E goes above that black line, and it goes underneath the O, 0, I nearly said 0, and then it touches that L, the V, excuse me, the L, that's right. So let's have a look at that roughly. So you can see I've just roughly knocked in the basic shapes of everything, trying to fit it in exactly the way it's fitted in on the illustration you see in front of you with the grid and lines and everything. That is what using basic shapes is all about, okay? We're using the basic shapes to fit all those letters in the right place. Now that we've got them roughly where we want them, I'm going to put my bit of paper here, my scrap piece of paper that I used to rest my hand on, so that when I start sketching, it doesn't smudge what I've already done. I've also got my bit of tissue here, not for my nose, it's not running, but this bit of tissue is for my rubber. Because you know when you do rubbing, all those flakes come off? We use the tissue to gently, we're not rubbing hard, we're gently brushing away those flakes when they occur. And believe you me, they will occur any minute now. Right, let's go back to the E. Now, one of the things about this particular exercise, my friends, is that we're not using a ruler. I know it's tempting to use a ruler. You want to get a ruler, you want to make sure all the lines are dead straight and that they're in the right angle. Resist that urge, okay? Anybody can use a ruler, okay? But not anybody can draw lines as straight as possible freehand. And that's what I wanted to help to develop. Using your free hand to try and get a cleaner line as possible. When I started our grid system and I drew that line, the square, I did it pretty much straight away. A few mistakes I had to correct here and there, but pretty much bang, 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 I just did it straight away. Just years of practice, So I want you to use your free hand to get those letters looking straight. It's hard and it's difficult, but you have to try, my friends, okay? You have to try and get those letters in and those straight lines in as best as possible. Having said that, I'm looking at my leg of my L here and it doesn't look too friendly. It doesn't look too great, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. As I'm looking over it again, I'm trying to calculate what part needs to be fixed, what lines need to be moved, and what parts need to be rubbed out. So some of these bits here, using the eraser at the back of my pencil, which is a great way to rub out things without rubbing off everything. You're just rubbing out, you can really get some detailed rubbing here by rubbing out just the lines you want and leaving the lines that you want. Okay, like that. So that's why it's good to have the little rubber on the end here. If not, get a mom or a dad or older brother or sister to cut up your rubber for you into sharp edges so you can use that to get into those nooks and crannies, just like I'm doing here, to just rub away some of those lines we don't want. Now again, you can see on my page here, I've got all those flakes. I'm just going to use this tissue here to gently, very gently, just rub them away. There you go, you see, simple as that, isn't it? Simple as that, man. Right, let's go into the O. The O, of course, goes up and around, doesn't touch that top line, and goes down. Now, I know how hard it is to try and get these curves without making too many lines, okay? You might be saying, Khaleel, but you make it look so easy. It's not fair. Okay, that's not a big deal. It's just practice, okay? Many a time I could tell you the amount of times, well, I couldn't count them, but the amount of mistakes I've made with drawing curves and lines. And you can see from our tutorials here on Random Art Studios, I'm still making lots of mistakes. But the art is not to just get so frustrated that you throw it away. Persevere, keep going with your art, keep trying to perfect it. That's why they invented rubbers. So when you make a mistake, you can rub it off. Okay, so don't beat yourself up. Just keep at it, keep perfecting your art, and just keep going. That's all it is to it. Okay, and I promise you, you will improve. There's no man on earth who's done something over and over, or woman, or young girl on earth who's done something over and over again without improving, okay? You just have to be patient. Right, so we put that 0 in. Why do I keep saying 0? That O in. Right, let's look at the E now, might as well. Again, see, we've put everything in pretty much as I thought it should be, and I'm quite happy with it. So I'm just gonna thicken my lines up a little bit. Gonna thicken my lines up a little bit and rub off the ones I don't want to use. So for that center line there that we use for the grid system, we're gonna get rid of that one. We're gonna get rid of this line here and some of these scratchy lines that are used to form the curve of that E there. Just gonna rub out some of those. And then I'm gonna continue with this part here. Now sometimes as I'm drawing this, I'm realizing my hand doesn't flow very nicely. If you find yourself in that position, just turn the page like this, okay? Turn the page and you'll be able to find that you can do those curvy bits much more naturally because your hand naturally curves this way, but when you start drawing like this, it gets a bit awkward, okay? So don't be afraid to turn your page in order to get those curves in, okay? These are all little tips and tricks that we've learned over the years that inshallah will benefit you a lot as well. Right, let's continue while I've got the page turned to do that line down. Now the bottom part where it touches the leg of that E, it doesn't make a curve. Oh, it is actually a corner that goes back up. And see, it's easier for me to draw it this way now because my hand is naturally going down a straight line. And then we're going to put that line there and put a line up here. And then we're going to rub off some of those lines we don't want here. Like that. And then continue with that serif. Remember these flowy bits here are called the serif. And then we're going to turn that over. It's going to flow into the top part of the V and it goes down. Now that I'm quite happy with everything I've done, I'm making my lines a lot darker. You can see that straight away. Okay, I'm going to continue this one. And the bottom part doesn't touch the bottom line. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. I'm there and there. Right, using our rubber again, we're just going to rub out some of these lines in the middle that we no longer require. Oh, I need to fix this line here, where the serif of that V begins to touch the bottom of that L and then joins with that part, other part of the V there. Okay, let's just rub some of these off. Yeah, as I said, typography, you may find that typography, meaning letters and fonts and kerning and leading and pagination, all of those things, it might be a department of art, a department, is that the right word? As aspect of art that you might like. That's why I didn't shy away when I saw this lettering, because you believe it or not, there's so many different aspects to art. There's graphic design, there's 3D illustration, there's oil paintings, pastel paintings, gouache paintings, watercolor. There's so many aspects of it, and graphic design, typography is definitely one of those arty things, and it is an art. A graphic design, that is definitely an art that you can master, and you might find that you gravitate or you feel more comfortable drawing letters as opposed to drawing cats and dogs and stuff like that. Right, we're gonna put that one to bed now. Not bad, I'm happy with that one. Again, not 100% the same as what I've copied, but close enough. And again, guys, I had to rush it because we've got limited time in the studio and I don't want to bore you to tears doing it in too much detail and lose you all together. So it's good to see the beginning, the middle and the end and get to a good place as quickly as possible. Remember guys, if you want to join me in the studio or you want to send some of your artwork in, all you need to do is inbox me on our Instagram page, IQRA Kids TV. Inbox me, say, hi, my name is such and such and this is my artwork. Send 2 or 3 samples, we'd love to see it. Right guys, I've got to go. You take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum. of another amazing show. Did you guys get the answer to the quiz? How many salah are there in Islam? 5, of course, 5 salah during the day. Right, just want to remind you that our QR code is on the screen here as well. So if you want to be on the show for random art or anything else, by all means, make sure you go over there and you can inbox me your artwork. If you want to be on the show, all of that good stuff would be absolutely amazing. Right, guys, so speak to you soon. Yeah, hope you like it. Reason number 7, it was a massive up.
Tales of wonder.
Right? Different things you do.
IQRA Kids TV.